Lenny, first of all, it looks like you're going to be making your NHL debut tonight. How are you feeling with all the emotions of maybe the last couple of days too?
Yeah, I feel great. It's a dream to play first NHL game, and yeah, I feel good.
What for you has been the biggest step you think that you've taken, starting in Utica and just building your game, as it was your first season here in North America, right? There was a lot of adjustment.
Yeah, I think just finding my own game in the smaller rink, and I think I've been able to kind of get more offense all the time, more and more, and yeah, I think that's been just good to start kind of defensive side of the game, and then just try to build that offense also.
Was there a moment maybe where you started feeling a lot more comfortable?
Yeah, maybe the first 10 games was kind of trying to figure things out and just get used to the game, and after that I have felt like all the time better and better.
And what have maybe the coaches said to you just about making your NHL debut, what the expectations are, and what it's like to play in a first game?
Yeah, I think we have talked that just try to play my own game and try to bring my own strengths out there, and yeah, just play hard and skate good, and yeah.
Might be hard with the travel. Do you have any family that might be able to get here in time?
No, unfortunately they couldn't get here, but I'm sure they will be up all night watching the game, so yeah.
I was going to say, Lenny, what time would that be roughly back home?
I think it's game is starting like 4 o'clock at night, so yeah, so it's a late game, but I'm sure they will be up.
What was it like when you maybe called your parents or called people back home to tell them about this moment for you?
Yeah, obviously it was a big thing for me to get to tell them that it's gonna be my first game, and they were all obviously happy and excited, and obviously they were a little bit upset that they couldn't get here, but I'm sure they will enjoy and cheer me up back home.
Thanks. The beginning of a very important road trip for you guys. What's sort of the mentality, given so many ups and downs here, and maybe getting away from home, just being together and trying to create some momentum here?
Yeah, just kind of exactly that, not looking at the whole 4 games, trying to focus on tonight at Calgary, a good team that's been working hard and has a lot of skill and can make you pay, which would be a good test for our team defensively. We got some new guys, some excitement coming in the lineup with guys playing the first game for Lenny, which will be a good lift for the group. I think anytime you've got an exciting time like that, it should help us, give us a little bit of juice. So I think we got to understand that when we played on the road last time, our last game in Minnesota, one of our best of the year really, to hopefully kind of just bring that momentum into this one and kind of roll it in from there.
Do you draw on that last game? Not the last game you played, but that last road game. And what were some of those fundamentals that can be successful here?
I think in that game we understood that Minnesota had a lot of high-end power, a lot of speed, a lot of skill, and with that you can get embarrassed if you aren't on top of your game. So similar to them, these guys got guys that can score, that can put the puck in the net. Their power play has been cooking pretty good too. So for us, we've just got to, when we focus on the defensive side of things, the details, keeping guys above, box outs, that type of stuff. The offense takes care of itself because we're checking with our legs, we're making the other team turn pucks over. So again, it'll be a good test for us, and hopefully we can get this trip started right.
You mentioned before just Lenny making his NHL debut. I mean, what does that do for a group? You talked about sort of injecting a little bit of excitement. What is that like for
I think everybody's excited for him. It's a big deal, playing in the National Hockey League. It's a memory that Calgary will always hold a place in his mind and his family's memories, all that type of stuff. So I think for all of us, you want that to be a memorable one for him in a positive way. Hopefully a big win. Hopefully just a lot of good memories that he can understand. Guys making him feel comfortable. I'm sure when he sees guys on the other side that he's probably watched, the Huberdeaus and all these types of guys. It'll be exciting. So I think everybody should draw from that.
Thanks, Billy. Appreciate it. Then you're sort of injecting some youth, if you will, into the lineup tonight. Looks like Lenny's going to make his NHL debut. Always an exciting moment, but what does that kind of do for your lineup as you guys are just trying to find your way here?
I mean, we hope he can, give us a little something different. I think he's a very well-rounded player. We've been kind of waiting for him to get comfortable and really start to find a groove in the American League, and he's done that. So felt the time was right to get him here and get him involved and see what he can do at this level.
And then obviously him coming in means players have to come out. You really rejigged a lot of your lines there, Glennie coming out. What are you looking for with what you've put together here with your forward lines?
Yeah, like you say, just a different mix, bit of a different feel. Obviously, Lenny coming in, gives us, like I said, another guy that's just got a nice, well-rounded game that can help us on offense, but also be responsible defensively. So you just kind of want to, rejig it and see how it looks with different skill set at center there with Cotter. We've liked Glendenning's game. I think for what he's been brought here to do, I think he's done that job. But there's other areas of his game that aren't a strength, and we feel like if we can get some traction here with Lenny and give him a good opportunity, then and Cotter can stabilize us at center, which is a question. It's something that hasn't quite worked for us in the past, but we think it's worthwhile to give it a go.
What's a successful debut look like for him? Like, what 60 minutes are done, and you're the coach looking back on his game. What's a successful debut look like?
I just think that he's involved in the game in whatever area that might be. It might be being really strong on the forecheck and creating turnovers. It might be making some plays and generating some shots for himself or others. But really just he's out there looking confident and comfortable. I think is the big thing. We believe in the skill set and the player, and like I said, been just kind of waiting for him to find that groove at the AHL level, so he comes up confident and feeling good about himself, and just trying to hope that can transfer to this level.
When you put the line together with Len, what were you? Do you surround him? You've got Glasser there in the middle, and how do you make up a line with a guy making his NHL debut? What are you looking at there?
Well, I felt it was important to give him some guys that I think have a good skill set and have been playing well. Glass has been really, really solid for us up the middle of the ice. Gritsuk, I think just his skill set can pair well with anyone and kind of help and complement Lenny's skill set. So I just think it works. Obviously, that we like that pairing Glass and Gritsuk with Connor Brown there. But want to give Lenny a really good opportunity here, and at the same time, we're able to use Brownie to help support that and often Cotter in that line.
And I'm assuming that Covey's coming out with the back-to-back as you guys are kind of managing, his return and all that, and it gives you an opportunity to get Nemo in?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we learned last week that Covey's not necessarily his knee, but his body overall is not quite ready for these back-to-backs. So just giving him today off and giving an opportunity for the group to go today and see how they can come together.
Flames will have a different look with Anderson being traded. What do you expect from them?
I mean, I'm not expecting it to be too disruptive. I think they're a team that are coming off a couple of wins and feeling good, and they've been, kind of like us, I guess. They've been up and down throughout the season and seem to have found a good groove. I don't expect much to change in terms of their overall game. It's going to be, our focus will remain on us as we went out on the road to Winnipeg and Minnesota last week and thought we did a nice job, and that's going to be our focus. So no matter what Calgary's bringing, we think that's a good recipe for us.
What's been your assessment of Nemich's game coming off injury?
I don't think he's found it here quite yet. He played very well and offensively had really popped before the injury. So there's a disruption here, and now you kind of get back into it, and it's difficult when you come in at a time coming off of an injury, and now we've got 7 health. It's as healthy as we've been all season. So we got to give him the opportunity to get going with it, but he also has to embrace the challenge of finding his game and getting back to it with some competition around him.
You mentioned after the last game the opportunities you had getting behind Carolina, didn't score. I don't know what the answer is to burying those chances, but what do you think has to happen when those moments occur? You just got to score. I get it.
Yeah,
But
it's a tricky one. I mean, it's a hard one to coach. I mean, you get these guys that are trying the same moves that have worked for them throughout their career, and obviously there's a confidence element that comes with it. It's no secret finishing has been an issue for us this season, and it's a lot of guys that are not shooting at the level that they would expect or that they've proven through their career. That tells me when we see those types of chances, you're playing against a Carolina team, you're not expecting a huge volume of chances, but I said it was 6 times, but watching it back after the game, it was 9 times. We're in alone and got a clear shot on the goaltender. We've got to find a way to have those things fall. So, yeah, we keep going through this thinking it's going to bounce back and they're going to start to fall. We hope it's today. But regardless of that, we've got to make sure our overall game is in order. So, like I said before, that when the goals start to come, when we start finishing and things start to fall our way more consistently, that our team's ready to really get rolling. So that's been the emphasis, and I know that these guys are going to start to score at a much higher rate. That's going to happen. We just obviously need it to happen here soon, but also embrace that we can win low-scoring, low-event affairs as we have previously.
looks like Markstrom, is he a guy that always wants a game like this?
Yeah, he is. So we come out on a trip like this. It's, we did a similar thing last season. We also did a similar thing last week, but kind of opposite. Sometimes it's situations like this where it's your former team, but sometimes it's just a team that maybe you feel good against or a building you feel good in. Last week it was I don't know if it was last week or a couple weeks ago when we went to Winnipeg and Minnesota. It was Markey had played good in Minnesota, so we really wanted to give him that game, and this one here is just back to back again. It's kind of easy. Markey gets this one, and Jake feels real good and has played very well for us against Edmonton. So just kind of sometimes it falls that way.
Well, you just talked about it with Maddie, the fact that on the breakaways the pucks aren't going in, but then a shot like Timo's on the power play gets through. Yes, there was net front presence. Just curious if it's just get everything to the net, and also on the other side of that, just what are you seeing in the net front presence and them getting to that gritty area as well?
Yeah, it's a mix, right? You gotta make good. You want to generate as high danger chances as you can. Those are the ones that go in with greater regularity, and the percentages are far higher. But, when those aren't falling, you want to increase your volume any way you can. So get pucks to the net, get traffic, get tips. All things that aren't a strength of our team, frankly. But, we got to find ways to generate more of those. And sometimes they do just kind of fall your way. So that's the message. We talk about offensive pace, and we want to get more stuff happening towards the other team's net, whether that's, players converging there or pucks arriving. This is a team that protects their net very well with their D-zone coverage, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily work to your benefit to get too many pucks there because they're just sitting there waiting on it. Their goaltenders have been very good in that regard, so we're going to have to be a little more selective, but at the same time recognize when there's opportunities to converge and get the necessary traffic.
Thank you.